The World Cup 2026 group stage is behind us, and the round of 32 delivered pure chaos. The very first knockout round of the biggest World Cup in history produced shock exits, penalty shootout heartbreak, and last-gasp winners that sent giants tumbling out. Germany went home, the Netherlands went home, and unfancied nations like Paraguay, Morocco, and Canada marched on into the last 16. This ranking is about one round and one round only. No group stage form, no season-long reputations, just who was the best across these 16 knockout matches. From clutch late winners to record-breaking braces, these are the 5 best players of the World Cup 2026 round of 32. And the man who topped our group stage list. This time, he only just scraped into it. At number 5 is Lionel Messi of Argentina. Just days ago, he stood alone as the best player of the entire group stage, but the round of 32 gave the 38-year-old the fright of his tournament. Argentina, the defending champions, were drawn against Cape Verde, one of the smallest nations ever to reach a World Cup knockout round, and what should have been a routine night turned into pure drama. Messi did his job early, sweeping home the opener in the 29th minute with the kind of ice-cool finish that has defined his entire career. But Cape Verde simply refused to die. They equalized, fell behind again to a Lisandro Martinez strike, and then leveled a second time in the 103rd minute, sending shockwaves around the stadium. The defending champions were rattled, minutes away from the most humiliating exit in their history, until an own goal in the 111th minute finally settled a breathless 3-2 win after extra time. Messi got his goal, and his team got through, but make no mistake, in this round, the great man was carried almost as much as he carried. One goal on the night, yes, but ultimately a performance his team will simply be relieved to have survived. Number 4 is Erling Haaland of Norway. The big question coming into the knockout rounds was whether the goal machine could deliver when the pressure truly cracked down in single-elimination football, where one bad night ends everything. Against Ivory Coast, he answered emphatically. Norway had taken the lead through their brilliant young winger Antonio Nusa, only for Ivory Coast to strike straight back and level the game at 1 apiece, setting up a nervy end-to-end finish. With the clock ticking down and extra time looming, up stepped Haaland. In the 86th minute, he did exactly what he has done his entire career, arrived at precisely the right moment, in the biggest moment, and buried the winner to send Norway through 2-1. This was not a night of endless chances or a hatful of goals. It was one swing of his boot that decided an entire World Cup knockout tie. In his very first World Cup, Erling Haaland isn't just scoring, he is scoring the goals that separate the teams going home from the teams marching on. Norway's dream lives on, and it lives on because of him. At number 3 is Mikel Oyarzabal of Spain. He may not carry the global fame of the superstars around him on this list, but in the round of 32, he produced a performance of ruthless, big-game quality. Here is a remarkable statistic. Before this match, Spain had not won a single knockout game at a men's World Cup since the day they lifted the trophy back in 2010, 16 long years of tournament heartbreak. Against a stubborn, well-drilled Austria side, Oyarzabal ended that curse almost single-handedly. He opened the scoring in the 36th minute with a composed, clinical finish, and then, after Pedro Porro had doubled the lead, he wrapped up his brace in the 89th minute to seal a commanding 3-0 victory. 2 goals, a clean sheet at the other end, and one of the pre-tournament favorites marching serenely into the last 16, all driven by the man leading the Spanish line. When Spain needed someone to finally break their knockout curse, it was Mikel Oyarzabal who stood up and did it, on the biggest stage of all. A quietly devastating, ice-cold display from a player who visibly thrives when the stakes are at their absolute highest. Number 2 is Harry Kane, the captain, the leader, and the relentless goal machine of England. For years, Kane has carried the weight of a football-obsessed nation desperate to end decades of hurt, and in the round of 32, he showed exactly why they lean on him so heavily. England, one of the favorites to win the whole tournament, found themselves in a genuine fight against a spirited DR Congo side that simply would not lie down. This was the kind of banana-skin knockout tie that ends dreams, and for long stretches, England looked nervous, blunt, and beatable. So their captain took the game by the scruff of the neck and won it by himself. Kane scored both of England's goals in a hard-fought 2-1 victory. Every single one of his team's goals came from his boot, dragging them over the line and into the last 16 almost single-handedly. It was a display of pure leadership and cold-blooded finishing at the exact moment his side needed it most. When the pressure was at its absolute highest and an entire nation held its breath, Harry Kane stood up and delivered both goals himself. That is exactly what captains are supposed to do, and almost nobody in world football does it better than him. And the best player of the World Cup 2026 round of 32 is Kylian Mbappé. In the group stage, he finished second, outshone only by Lionel Messi. In the knockout rounds, the Frenchman decided it was finally his time to seize the crown. France were drawn against a dangerous, well-organized Sweden side, but from the very first whistle, there was only ever going to be one man who dominated this occasion. Right on the stroke of half-time, in the 45th minute, Mbappé struck first. Then, after Bradley Barcola had extended the lead, he returned in the 74th minute to complete his brace and put the result beyond any doubt. A clinical, ruthless 3-0 demolition that sent France surging into the last 16. But this was about so much more than just 2 goals. With that very brace, on this very night, Kylian Mbappé reached 18 career World Cup goals, overtaking the legendary Miroslav Klose to become the second highest scorer in the entire history of the Men's World Cup, behind only Messi himself. He also moved past Cristiano Ronaldo for the most goals ever scored in the knockout stages of the competition. Think about that for a moment. At just 27 years of age, this man is already rewriting the record books that the greatest players in history spent entire careers building. He is fast, he is fearless, and he is utterly unstoppable in the biggest moments. And in the round of 32, Kylian Mbappé didn't just perform, he made history. This is his tournament now, and he is coming for that golden boot. From Lionel Messi surviving the scare of his life against Cape Verde, to Haaland's ice-cold late winner, to Oyarzabal breaking a 16-year Spanish curse, to Harry Kane single-handedly rescuing England, all the way up to Kylian Mbappé making World Cup history against Sweden. These were the 5 best players of the round of 32, and this round alone. But spare a thought for the ones who caused the earthquakes. Morocco's goalkeeper Yassine Bounou, who stood tall in a penalty shootout to dump the mighty Netherlands out of the tournament, and the giant killers of Paraguay, who sent Germany packing on penalties. 16 teams now remain. The round of 16 is next, and the drama is only going to intensify. Who do you think lifts the trophy now? Drop your pick in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next round.